we had to move up, and then we paused. Notice that this pause is on lighter volume than the push up, right? So we have this push up, a pause that goes sideways, and then when we spike in volume again, we should see a break of this. And this is going to be a significant break because this is a major trend line for the entire year of 2022, right? So now, what's up, everybody? We're going to do a quick dive into the SPY, and then we're going to take a look at a few stocks that are bullish on the day. So, where do we stand on the weekly chart? We always want to start with the weekly chart and see what and how we could finish for the week. So what we're looking at right now is we had this bearish candle, right? And we broke below. And remember, we have this swing low here. I'm going to highlight it. So we have that swing low. And we have this swing low. So we have this swing low, this swing low. We have this swing high. And this swing high. So, are we gonna break below here, or are we gonna hold? So tomorrow, I could expect a little bit of a sell-off because I think that this is gonna finish as an inverted hammer, but we don't want to guess. So what we want to do is we want to dive into like either the hour or the 30-minute chart and create areas where we know are significant. So right now, we're gonna point out the range that SPY is currently in, which is right here, right? So this is the range that SPY is currently in, right? And if we zoom out and go back to the hour chart, so we can see a broader view. So if we zoom out, we had this downturn here. Now we're going sideways, ranging here. So if we break above this line tomorrow and then above this box, that's going to be interesting. That means that SPY is going to come back above this 50-period moving average on the weekly, and that's going to be pretty significant. So now you can easily come here and draw a line from top to bottom. Right? Once you create this line, you kind of get a gauge of where we can end up selling off. So as of right now, we're at pretty much the bottom of this swing low, and we see that we have 3 green days, right? So we have bearish order flow on the daily chart. We're below the 50-period moving average. So we're bearish, but now we have 3 days that we're pretty much trending sideways in this range. So if we were just looking at this from a technical standpoint, we're under the 50-period moving average on the daily. That's bearish. Then we have the moving averages in a bearish direction, right? You have the 9 followed by the 21 and then the 50 on top. Now we have 3 days of sideways action. So what does that mean? That means that we're going sideways on heavy volume. That's what's interesting about this sideways action. So normally you see a push down and then we go sideways on lighter volume looking for the next push down. But in this case, we have sideways action on heavy volume, and that's what makes this very significant, okay? So now we have this downtrend here in the hour chart. It's going sideways. So it's safe to say that we came down here, rejected this line, right, on the hour, went sideways, touched this line again, kissed this line, came down, went sideways again, rejected. Today we came back up to this line. So if tomorrow we open up lower, we know that this line rejected again. But if we actually cross this line, now we know that something is changing. And that's confluence number 2. We're breaking the downtrend on the hour. Plus, we have heavy volume for the last 3 days. So that could indicate a reversal, right? We also have this purple line down here is a major support from the 2022 downtrend. So if you zoom out here, you can see that this is the downtrend from 2022 for the entire year. So we broke above here and we retested, and now we might break back above that line. So if we break back above that line, that's going to be very significant for SPY. And this is why we need to pay attention to the short term, longer term, and the trends according with the moving averages, right? So now, what are you looking for and what are you doing? Okay, so we have this downtrend here, sideways action. We're looking for this to break above this downtrend, right? And then if we break above the downtrend, we want to be above this price action of the sideways action of the box. So we're looking for above 394, and SPY would start to see a bullish breakout, probably followed by a retest and then a continuation, right? So that's what you want to look out for. And if tomorrow we open lower, then we'll probably come back, retest this line, and then come down. And if we break below this 383 area, then we could see a continuation to the downside, right? But it's important that you recognize this heavy volume that's here. Okay, so let's get into some bullish ideas. So one of the bullish stocks that I'm looking at is Apple. Now, why is Apple bullish? Well, if you take a look out, you see that Apple has had buying for the last 3 months, right? Now we have this downtrend line right here that we have to break. But the price action is indicating that it's bullish. And then we have this consolidation candle on the month, right? So this consolidation candle, once it breaks above here, we can see a continuation to the upside, right? That's going to be a big breakout. So there's two things going on. Now that we know what's going on with SPY and that it's pausing on heavy volume, that's number one. That's a clue number one. A clue number two is we have Apple, one of the strongest stocks in the entire stock market, with 3 months of buying quietly, right? Now let's go down to the weekly time frame, right? Let's see what the price action is telling us on the weekly time frame. Well, we had a move up and then we paused. Notice that this pause is on lighter volume than the push up, right? So we have this push up, a pause that goes sideways, and then when we spike in volume again, we should see a break of this. And this is going to be a significant break because this is a major trend line for the entire year of 2022, right? So now heavy volume, lighter volume. Now we're looking for the next push up, indicating a major breakout. So let's take a look at the hour chart and let's see. I already have this range indicated here, right? So let's take a look at the hour chart, and if we look at it, we see a lot of consolidation, right? We see this move up, and then we have more consolidation here. Let's point this out, right? So SPY and Apple are two strong indicators of the entire market. And if SPY goes above that trend line we indicated and Apple breaks above this 153 area, then we can see the entire market continue in a bullish manner, right? And if you even look at this, we are already trending in that direction. So we had up, and then you have this trend line here, right? And this trend line is right here. So it's already breaking this trend on the smaller time frames, right? So if we come this way to the right tomorrow and we break above 153, you can bet that Apple is going to have a bullish day, and we're going to continue seeing bullish price action. Now let's look at the day. So Apple came up. The moving averages are in order. We have the 9, the 21, and the 50 all in order, right? And we want to see a continuation and a break above this, first of all, above this 153 area. And then as soon as we get above here, 157, you can add to your position, right? This is going to be a tester position here because we can easily come up and get rejected at this trend line, right? So these are the things that you have to pay attention to in different time frames. Another bullish stock that we have is AMD, right? We saw that it's been having some buying here for the last couple months. Now it's pausing. We have this kind of bull flag right here, and now we see the breakout of that bull flag retest, and now we see in bullish action that's coming above the previous high, which is 88. Now this is the first day that we're seeing a breakout. So if tomorrow we come under the breakout, now we know that this was a false breakout. But if we see a higher high and it holds the price, meaning it holds the bid, meaning that there is buyers present, then that means that we can see a continuation of AMD until the next resistance, which is indicated here at about 105. So that's a good risk to reward, right? So we see this breakout right here out of this consolidation, right? We see the move up, the break, the high of the box, the low of the box, and now we saw a breakout. So we want to see possibly a lower opening down here, a retest, and then a push up, right? So because AMD is bullish, now you have to take a deeper look into the sector. And you know that if AMD is bullish, NVIDIA is also in that group. So if you take a look at AMD being bullish, you could bet your bottom dollar that NVIDIA is also bullish. So now we have this range going on in NVIDIA, right? You see that? Boom. So now once we break above this area here on Nvidia, you can place calls with confidence because we have all this buying. The moving averages are in order, and now all you need to do is find an entry. You see, this is how simple it is. So once one stock is super strong, the entire group is normally strong. So AMD already broke out today. This is a laggard. This is one that follows AMD, and now you can bet that tomorrow this would probably have follow through. This is how easy reading price action stocks, getting into the sectors, taking a look at the market can be. And you have to be prepared to know your entries, know the sectors, know the direction of the SPY, and notice when something is changing. And in the SPY, something is changing because you see heavy volume on sideways action. So when you see heavy volume in a range, you better pay attention. One of the other bullish stocks that we have is Meta, right? We saw a breakout today of the highs, right? And now we're up massively after hours, right? So what are we looking for tomorrow? Do you think that the risk to reward is good? If it's this far from the moving averages, it's not. You have to wait until you get a good entry that's like around the moving averages like here. So how do you know your entries? Well, that's reserved for the community that I tutor and that I coach. But if you know your own entries and exits, you can easily wait until it gets closer to the moving averages, retest so that you can get a better risk to reward. You can't take trades all the way up here because that's not a good risk to reward. You understand? So you have to be aware of the ATR. You have to be aware of how much of a stock actually moves when it runs bullish and if it's ranging or if it's trending. So these are the things you have to ask yourself as a trader. If you want to continue to get some bullish stocks, subscribe to my channel, have some comments below, like, and I'll see you next time.